Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Leeny Budgets here, and today we are going to be talking about how to start a budget, how I normally budget on a regular basis. And if you're interested in knowing how to budget or get better with your finances, then keep on watching. So again, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you are subscribed, welcome back. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all the ones that are subscribing to my channel. It does help with the algorithm of my channel. It truly does, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you oh so much. If it wasn't for you guys, none of this would be possible. Okay, so this is how I budget. I did write down because I had a lot of errands that I needed to do, and two unexpected expenses happened unexpectedly. That happened, but I feel like I'll talk about that during my cat stuffing. I don't want to talk about it today. I hope you guys understand, but I really don't want to talk about it today. So before I dive into this is my second paycheck of June that I'm working with. However, I did also mention once I'm doing this budget, I am not going to be showing my actual income for privacy reasons. That's just me. That's just how I roll. I feel like it's very beneficial for me to do it that way. I don't expect everybody to understand, but for my privacy, that's why I'm not showing that. So I'm just going to do something that's, average, okay, if that makes sense, but almost like my budget, basically. And another thing that I want to mention is that I live with family, so my expenses is not going to be the same as an average family or a single income that has an apartment, that has a home, a car payment, so on and so forth. Because I take public transportation, I do not have a car, I don't have a home, I don't live on my own, I live with family right now. Okay, but that's what I'm striving for, to get my home. Okay, so that's why I'm able to stuff as much as I possibly can. If you guys have viewed my cat stuffing. Now enough with the rambling. We're gonna go with the monthly expense. I feel like 3,000 is very average, or like 4,000, or if you happen to make 2,000 or whatever your income is, you write down whatever you get monthly. So if you get every week pay, you add all that up together, and then that's your monthly income for that month. Okay, so yeah, monthly income. If you're a bi-weekly budgeter, whatever you get from your first check and your second check, you add all that up, and that will be considered your monthly income. All right, and what I do is I divide it. Okay, so as you can see, I put 3,000, I divide it into two. So 3,000 divided to 2 gives you 1,500, which is considered $1,500. Okay, so that's where I come with this dimensions right here. Now I have my monthly expenses written down here, and as you can see, I wrote right here every month. So for rent is $200. Again, I live with family, so don't come for me when you see this number, okay? I know it's not the average, but I want you guys to understand, whether you get paid bi-weekly or every week, please you guys, just budget. Budgeting is fun if you really look at it. And when you do it in twos, you'll be surprised at how much you're able to save. Okay? Even if you happen to like have months, especially for but for the bi-weekly budgeters, where you have months whereas you're getting 3 pays in a month, I still do it in twos. Why? Because that little extra that I have left over, I act like I don't see it, and that could be my months ahead type of pay. Okay, so if something was to come up, I have that cushion. All right, or I could put in an emergency fund, a savings, a high yield savings, and so on and so forth. So just putting that out there. So rent, back to this, rent $200 right here, and then we have, as you can see, $200 divided into 2 gives you $100 for each paycheck. Same thing goes for phone bill. Phone bill is $80, 40, okay? and so on and so forth. I hope you guys are following. Bus pass, $130 divided into 2 gives you 65. Netflix, because I have my own Netflix. I don't have anybody else's or under anyone else's. So Netflix is $12. That's $6 for each paycheck. Electric bill. Currently, it's been $35 for each paycheck, which is $70. When you add up 35 and 35 together, it gives you $70. So yeah, that's what I came up with for electric bill. During the winter weather moments where you use the heater, that's when you have a little bit more than your regular average when it's like spring, summer, because you're not using the heat, okay? But for AC purposes, yes, you just got to be mindful for what you're doing. And if you're going to use AC, just know you're going to have to put a little bit of chunk, and just be mindful of how much you're using and whatnot. And if you're not in the room or anything like that, you can always turn off the AC and your room will be cool. Just putting that out there. I don't like AC. I really don't, but I don't mind it. I just don't like it because I have sensitive skin. So there goes that. iCloud is $10, so it's $5 for each paycheck. Okay, so you write down all your monthly expenses. As you can see, for subscriptions, I only have Netflix and iCloud. I don't want to have a whole bunch of subscriptions under my belt. I really don't. I don't see the purpose of me. I'd rather use what I'm going to use than to have a whole bunch of subscriptions and then God forbid something happens and then I'm like, where did my money go? And then before you know it, my money is in the red or is in the negative or overdraft. You don't want that at all. Okay. Next is savings. Account 1 is just getting $50 and account 2 is just $50. So that's $100, for each check. For every check that I get is getting $50 in the savings that I have. Okay. And the total for everything from monthly expenses and savings, because those are my main top priorities, okay, especially the savings, is $351, as you can see right here. Let me just put this right here. So $351. Okay. So here we have 1,500. Take away 351 equals, now we have $1,149 left. And as you can see, I came up with my numbers. So this year, for those who know, and for those who don't know, I'm doing a 10K challenge this year. So it's a little bit more. You don't necessarily have to have a 10K challenge. You do what works for your budget. You do what works for your salary. If you're making $40,000, if you're making $30,000, hell, if you're making $20,000, you do what works for you. $20,000 a salary or $30,000 a salary. Hey, if you're saving up, just challenging yourself to save up $5,000, that is amazing. If you're saving up $1,000, that is amazing. I personally do not want to have multiple challenges. Why? Because I don't want to feel overwhelmed. I don't want to feel overwhacked or anything like that. For those who can do it, bravo to you. I personally wouldn't want that for myself. So that's why I just said, you know what? I'm going to do the 10K challenge and see it for myself. This is my first time doing a 10K challenge. Last year, I never videotaped any of this stuff. But last year, I challenged myself to put $3,000 for my home, for my future home. And I surpassed the $3,000 within last year of 2021. And it actually, no, not 2021, sorry, 2022. I did that and I felt so proud of myself that I actually said what I'm going to do and it came true and I surpassed the amount that I said I was going to put. So again, budgeting doesn't have to be boring, okay? Budgeting is actually fun. You just got to make it happen for yourself and do what actually works for you, because everybody's budget is totally different. Again, you do what works for you. For me, like I said, whenever I get my monthly, income and so on and so forth, and I see how much I'm getting from each paycheck, I divide it into two and I make things happen, and I divide everything in twos. Even if I'm getting paid 3 times that month, I'm still dividing it into twos. And that extra cushion or that OT and so on and so forth, the OT I can put some but not all, because at the same time my mind is, I want it to be so wired, whereas I see that extra cash but I acknowledge it, but I'd rather put it in like an emergency fund, so it can accumulate interest and it just all adds up, and I just act like I didn't see that extra pay. Okay, if that makes sense. Because not all of us, but most of us can fall into this category, whereas we weren't taught about money. That's me. And also we didn't go to school that talks about money. That's me also. And I for one didn't know how to budget. I just ask or look at YouTube until I found something that actually worked for me and my budget, and this is where I come down to divide it to twos. And every time, if I happen to do OT and everything, I act like I didn't see it. I still acknowledge my regular income, because the moment you see that extra money, what do? We want to spend it. And there's nothing wrong with spending it, but you want to be smart about it, okay? I know I'm rambling, but I'd rather talk about these things because I'm there also. Even till this day, sometimes, unexpected things happen and it's like, oh my gosh, now I gotta, draw back a few buttons, a few categories, because this and such happened. And it happened unexpectedly. But one thing I would say is that I'm calm. I don't want to get angry about things. It is what it is. I just know it's going to go back up with the pay and so on and so forth. So we have $1,149 left. I know that went all the way. But we have $1,149 left. I have my 10K challenge, right? 475. So let me take away that 475. And we have 674 left. Okay. So this right here just literally goes a long way. So we're going to take away whatever else is left from that 475. So we're going to take away 185, 65, 215, and the 40 right here. And it gives us left over $169. So with every paycheck, I want to at least have a good $100, because something always comes up, and I live in an expensive city, so I'd rather have $100. I'd rather have $150. I'd rather have $200, but sometimes it's not really $200. Usually it happens, not all the time, but it's a buffer, and I leave it in my checking account, as you can see right here. I leave it in my checking account, you guys. I want you guys to understand, again, budgeting is not boring. It doesn't have to be boring. It is fun. Even if you do it with, your spouse, your kids, even if you happen to be a single mom or whatever the case may be, hey, you show your kids this and it will, it would actually expand their brains to know what it is about money, because most of us weren't taught about that, and we all need to break that cycle. We want kids to be kids, we want teenagers to be teenagers, of course, but I really do feel like, being that the school systems are not teaching that, then it's only right that we teach this amongst our friends, family, and kids. And let me just put this out there. You do not have to tell anybody about your income, how much you make, and so on and so forth. Some things are meant to be private, and that is totally fine. Don't let anybody take advantage of you and making it seem like you have to tell them. No. You do what works for you and your household, your job, your peace of mind, okay? Because nobody needs to know. As long as you're budgeting as individuals, then it goes a long way. It's great to have conversations among friends, amongst family that's not jealous of you, because whether you make less, whether you make more, it doesn't matter, because there's people who make a whole lot more and they're broke. So I hope this actually inspired you guys to get better on your budget. I hope I actually made it make more sense for you guys. So again, your monthly $3,000, your income $1,500. You divide it into 2, okay? And whether you're doing a challenge for yourself, hell, if it's $700 of a challenge within a year, so be it. Make sure you put that in for every paycheck, even if you're not doing a challenge at all, and you're more focused on your sinking funds. It goes a long way, you guys, and focus on the things that are needed more than your wants. Okay, so I hope this helps. I see you guys in my next video. Again, I appreciate each and every one for subscribing. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and yeah, maybe we can just do a grab a pen, grab a paper, and I do it hand by just writing it all down, you know. But things came up today, and I do apologize about that, you guys. But without further ado, I'll see you guys on my next video, cat stuffing. And also be sure to check out the community page on my channel, where I put the June schedule, and it shows what I'm going to be talking about. So I'm pretty excited for my next video that's going to be up. Hopefully the item that I bought is going to arrive, so that's been a little delay, so hopefully not. If not, then I'll just show the items that I have. Okay, so see you guys in my next video. Bye bye. Safe and have a great week. Bye bye.